coming up to the end of this build, and the analog sticks have to go in. The thing about the analog sticks is they're not exactly comfortable. Here, this is a pretty small device, and the closer to the center we can get if we can get our thumbs to here, it'd be perfect. Can't do that, but we can get it as close as we can to there, so we can bring them in a bit more. Start and select buttons are going to be in the way though. I want to move them to here. Start and select. The way that I put the shoulder buttons in is not ideal because I had to have wiring going between the cases, or between the board and the back case, so taking it off is a bit of a pain. It would be nice if I could just take it off. So I want to avoid doing that again. So I can't just mount these into the casing and then run wires to it, if I can help it. So what I decided to do is to build up a bit of a board here to rest these on, to actually make them part of the CM3. And this wasn't so hard to do, actually. I had tried a lot of different ideas, or I thought about a lot of different ideas on how to do this, and I think this is the winner. So it's just a piece of like perf board. You know, it could be anything. It could be just a piece of plastic, anything that's really strong, and it's mounted to the board. I was going to use JB Weld, but just a little bit of hot glue all around the edge here and on the edge in the back. It's really strong, actually. And I covered it with Captain Tape, of course, too, because it is pretty conductive. It has all these little metal parts. So doing that, don't really lose anything in the build that I can tell so far. When I put it in place, I've cut away the battery compartment to make room for it, and it's actually the same height. Everything turned out to be the same height. So this new board here just takes the place of the battery compartment plastic. Even on the back, it's like pretty much flush. So the battery's gonna fit in here just fine, just as normal. The screen will be able to sit right on top, and we shouldn't have any issues, I don't think, unless I'm missing something. And the casing has some supports here. I'm gonna save these. Alright, that's fitting pretty well. There's one part of the front of the case we need to remove. To get the buttons in exactly the right spot, I'm going to mount one at a time. Just a little dab of hot glue on the bottom. To wire these two buttons up, we need to wire the two connections from each button to their button pads. But this pad here in the center and this pad here in the center are connected by a common ground. So I scratched off a little bit of the coding here. I tested for continuity just to make sure. So what I can do is make a common ground from these switches here. So I'm just going to wire this connection to this one and then wire that to here. And all I have to do then is just run one wire to each pad. And make sure that connected well. Looks good. Start and select are looking pretty good. I cleaned up a bit. I used a little bit of extra glue and Captain tape on top of these wires to protect them, protect the connections. There's a Q-tip with the remnants of a button. Makes it much easier to press these things instead of having to find a button and then press it on here. All right. So start. Nice. Select. Nice. Speaker's working. And now both start and select at the same time. Nice.